Hello, beautiful Redlo women. How are you today? It's Terri here, your coach and biggest cheerleader. I'm here to put a little bit of inspiration in your day. Welcome to the Redlo Women podcast, where we empower midlife women to reclaim their confidence, rise higher, and step boldly into their next chapter. And we do it together. I became a midlife entrepreneur after overcoming my own self-doubt to start this podcast, write my book, and coach women just like you. And I did it all in my 50s. I knew I wanted more after navigating my own life transitions, overcoming some really hard things, and trying to figure out what was next. As I did, I decided to help you do the same. So grab your warm cup of coffee or step into your favorite tennis shoes and let's step forward together. Let's go. Before we begin today on our topic of customer service, I'd like to remind you that on May 1st, my next live 6-week course called Speak will begin. It's a quick jump start to helping you dive in and show up online with confidence to help you grow your business. So whether you're a coach, a leader, or you're just getting started, this class is really designed to help you overcome that fear you might have about being on camera so that you can connect with your ideal audience authentically, quirks and all. In this wide red ocean, the best way you can show up and connect with your audience is by being yourself. And that's all about customer service. We cover mindset, storytelling, simple tech, and how to actually create content that connects. I also do a one-on-one coaching session with you to help you get unstuck or to move forward in an area that you really need support in. So I'll put the link here in the show notes. I'd love to see you. If you have any questions, please reach out on DM. I'm happy to set up a call or just have a conversation about what you need and make sure this is a great fit for you. Okay, let's dive in and let's step forward. Today, I want to dive in and talk about something that's really been on my mind. And it might sound a little old-fashioned, but I believe it's actually more relevant now than ever. I want to talk about customer service. Yes, even in this online, very fast-paced digital world and rapid growth of AI, we need customer service. And as I've mentioned many times, I was not an early adopter of AI, but I've grown to love it as a tool. It acts as an assistant that helps me in many things. It helps me strategize and plan and think through certain things that I'm trying to work on, plan my content, all these different things. But I don't use it to write my content. It's not a human. And even though I have fun with it, we still need to connect with our human side even more. Because as we continue to grow and move forward in this digital world, people need humans. People need people with feelings and thoughts and others that can really help them move forward to where they want to go. So when we start out as an online entrepreneur, I think we often forget that we simply just need to start and focus on serving. That never, ever goes out of style. Now, you might be thinking, hey, Terri, I don't have a retail business. I don't have a brick and mortar business. I'm a coach, a course creator, an online entrepreneur. How does customer service fit into this, right? Well, exactly. That's exactly the point. Customer service never goes out of style, and it's really at the heart of how you show up. Customer service today isn't just a smile at a cash register when you're checking out, and hopefully you still have a cash register where you can connect with someone on the other side and talk to them, right? You're not just using your phone to check out like what Amazon's doing, but you actually have a friendly voice even on the other side of a phone when you're trying to solve a problem. And if you're like me, those are the businesses that you do business with, people that allow you actually to connect to another human to solve your issue and your problem. So when you think about it, what customer service really is just how we show up, how we serve, how we make others feel. We want them to feel seen and heard and valued and reminded that they belong. And as you know, at the end of every podcast, that's what I say. By definition, customer service is the support and assistance that a business provides to its customers, often before, during, and even after a purchase. It's all about helping customers have a very positive experience, helping them solve their problems, answering their questions, and making sure that they feel valued and heard. So, great customer service isn't just about fixing problems or issues, that's part of it, but it's also in the delivery. It's about building relationships. It's about creating trust, and it's about making the customers feel like they matter. So let me ask you, what does customer service mean to you? Does it seem like an old-fashioned word? What comes to mind? Maybe you think of stores like Nordstrom or Starbucks, or maybe even Four Seasons. For me, I think of those things, but I also think of my grandfather, Barney. Now, some of you that have been following me for a while, you know I've talked about my grandfather, Barney, a lot. But in case you don't know, let's just dive in a little bit. I want to share the background of how I grew up and how this really applies. But let's start with Nordstrom. That's kind of the gold standard, isn't it? For many of us, that's what we think of when we think of customer service. It's world class. It isn't just about shopping. It's about showing up for people. It's about going the extra mile. It's about creating an exceptional experience. For those of you that don't know, I actually returned to work and worked at Nordstrom. And so I learned firsthand what it was like to be on the customer service side. It was always all about being customer centric, listening, noticing, delivering more than it was expected. And that mission is what really caused me to apply for the job in the first place. I even mention it in my book, and I'll share. As I was scrolling, I read, apply here. Apply here, I thought. I saw an opening in the cosmetics department at Nordstrom. I always loved Nordstrom, and I thought, this is interesting. The words before me said, build long-lasting relationships with customers who have a passion for the latest cosmetics, beauty, and the fragrance trends. As I read the job description, which was longer than I'm sharing here, I realized that I met all of the requirements. Interesting, I thought. I have strong interpersonal skills and really strong communication skills. I have incredible drive and a whole lot of tenacity. I have entrepreneurial confidence and a solid background in customer service. The words building lasting relationships with customers really jumped out at me. Oh, I know I can do this. Easy. After all, I spent my childhood working in customer service and serving others. Check. I have a strong family business background and a long, successful career in cosmetology. Check. I love helping people and making them feel really good about themselves. Check. Okay, I thought, you have checked all the boxes. I know you can do this. Okay, let's do this. I filled out the application without telling anyone, and I hit send. I got the interview, and I got hired. And what was interesting when I got hired was the woman that hired me was very interested in my background, my very multi-passionate and multi-experienced background, particularly in family business, and also that I had run a marathon, which I found so interesting. I just randomly put it on the application, but it showed that I had drive and commitment to get to the finish line, to finish what I started. So never doubt where you are in your life and all the experiences that you have, because it always shows up in your life. So back to Nordstrom. John W. Nordstrom started with a very simple philosophy back in 1909. He felt that customers deserved the best service and value. And now, over 100 years later, that still drives the Nordstrom mission to create the most compelling shopping experience possible. Then there's Starbucks. Maybe you're a bit like me. Starbucks is more than just a cup of coffee. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a huge coffee drinker. I say that I love a strong cup of coffee. And for many years, I had a license plate on my Suburban that said N2SBUX. Now, SBX is the Starbucks symbol on the stock exchange. And for those of you that don't know, my husband does investments. So back then, that was just kind of a fun play on words. Kind of met my passion and his. So there you have it. Anyway, Starbucks isn't just a cup of coffee, right? It's not just a coffee shop. It's all about connection. Think about it. They write your name on a cup, and it's not just to avoid getting your drinks mixed up with others, although that does help, but it's a tiny act of personalization. It's a tiny act and a reminder that you matter. Calling you out by name is connecting you to the experience and telling you that you are seen. Their mission is to inspire and nurture the human spirit, one person, one cup, and one neighborhood at a time. That's powerful, isn't it? They create an experience where you feel acknowledged, where your name is known, where someone looks you in the eye, calls you by name, and says thank you, right? It's not just next. So that's not just coffee, that's connection. Then there's Four Seasons. It's all about being their guest. So let's talk luxury. Let's talk Four Seasons. Right? For any of you that ever have even stepped into Four Seasons, right? You know, the moment you step in there, your whole body relaxes and you know that you're going to be greeted warmly and welcomed and treated with the highest level of service. They have a beautiful 5-star approach that isn't just about elegant hotels. It's about how they make you feel. They operate by the golden rule, treating you, the guest, the way they themselves would want to be treated. And employees are empowered to make daily decisions, to go above and beyond to help you feel welcome, feel seen and heard and valued, and have a very high-level experience. They're there to solve your problem and make your stay wonderful. And they do everything possible to help you have that incredible experience, right? So again, it's about being intentional and making people feel like they belong, like they have just welcomed you into their home and want you to have the most amazing experience possible. And then there's my grandfather, Barney. His restaurant, it was called Barney's Restaurant. He owned and operated his restaurant for over 50 years. And he didn't just serve meals, he created an experience. He valued every single person who walked through his doors. And it didn't matter who you were, whether you were a truck driver or another business owner or a celebrity. He always treated you just the same and made you feel very welcome. He remembered his customers' names. He knew many of their personal stories. He knew their favorite dishes. And every meal that was prepared with care and quality ingredients. And trust me, he held a very high standard. Nothing was wasted. He was a master at repurposing his food in a very creative and resourceful way that still blows my mind to this day. In fact, in the kitchen, all the food scraps were put into one big bin and mixed with something at the end, and he would drive it to the barn, which he had, to serve his pigs. So everything had a purpose. Everything cycled through. It was phenomenal what he did. And my grandfather only had an 8th grade education. Everything in that restaurant had a purpose, and everyone who entered felt like they belonged, and every employee did as well. He was tough on the outside, but a teddy bear on the inside. He had a keen ability to connect, and he held people accountable and provided exceptional customer service. He led with integrity. He believed in himself, his customers, his business, and his ability to run it. And like I said, with only an 8th grade education. Most importantly, he believed in me. We all need a Barney, don't we? We all need someone to look up to. We all need that role model who shows us how to do life, how to run a business, how to overcome really hard things, which he did, and how to get on the other side, to have that tenacity and keep going. Because doing business is not easy. But when you show up authentically as yourself with a heart to serve, you can do great things. So often we think that running a business needs to be really flashy and bold. But I've learned it's in the humble that we learn from the most, just by watching. And I believe that this is where my own curiosity about people and humanity and serving and helping others began. I watched my grandfather Barney connect with others so naturally. He joked with them, and like I said, he called them by name, and he took pride in all that he did, especially in his restaurant. He didn't stop working until he was 90 years old. And as I've shared, I asked him why, and he said, why not? What else am I going to do? I love my restaurant. I love serving people. I love helping others. He did it with intention and integrity, and it left an imprint on me. So what is the common thread? What's the golden thread through all of these businesses? What does Barney, Nordstrom, Starbucks, and the Four Seasons all have in common? It's customer service. It's about making people feel seen and heard and valued and reminding them that they belong. It's about going the extra mile. It's about paying attention. It's not just about products. It's about people. It's remembering others' names. It's making them feel welcome. It's anticipating their needs and meeting them where they are. It's about saying, I see you. I hear you. I'm here to help you and remind you that you belong. And the best part, you can bring that same level of service into your online business. So whether you're coaching or podcasting or running a program or simply just responding to DMs, customer service is all about how you treat people. It's remembering their name. It's connecting with them authentically on a very personal level. It's not just answering with a generic response like great post. It's about really leaning in and asking questions, showing up with curiosity and generosity and kindness. So, how are you showing up? Let me ask you, are you showing up for your community and your clients and your audience authentically? Are you just delivering content, or are you genuinely creating a connection, being vulnerable and sharing who you are and what you've been through? Are you responding with empathy and care, or are you just rushing through the motions? Because the truth is, customer service is never going out of style, and I believe it's needed now more than ever. It's all about your own heart and how you show up to help someone else. In a world of automation and AI, real connection still stands out. We need human connection. We need human voices. We need human compassion, human empathy, and humans to connect with others to help them get where they want to go. So my final thoughts are what my grandfather Barney taught me decades ago, before anyone else was talking about customer journeys or brand loyalty or customer experience. He taught me to care. And I want to challenge you this week. Bring a little more of the Nordstrom experience into your masterclasses. Go that extra mile. Give everyone that level of experience and service. Add a little bit more of the Starbucks spirit into your Zoom call. Call people out by name. Ask them where they're from, what they do, what is their struggle. Meet them where they are. Help them feel seen and heard and valued. And also add a little bit of the 4 seasons. Welcome them into your online home and treat them like a 5-star guest. And then add a little bit of Barney's humility and heart to everything you do. Be simple, be curious, be human, and keep stepping forward. Let's continue to serve and connect and lead with intention and integrity. Show up authentically as yourself. That's the best thing you can do today in this wide open red ocean, right? Be a light in the midst. Be the calm in the waves. For some reason, the starfish is popping up in my mind, and I need to see what that's about. I just looked it up to see because that kept coming up in my mind, and I wanted to share what that meant. But a starfish represents guidance, emotional strength, and deep spiritual connection. So be the starfish in the midst of this crazy, wide, big ocean, right? And show up and continue to be you and to serve others with a heart of compassion and empathy. And remember that you are the Redlo woman, and I am here to help you reclaim your confidence, embrace your voice, define your path, lead with courage, and own your space. As always, remember that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, you are valued, and you belong. Until we meet again, keep stepping forward. Have an awesome day. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a few key takeaways that you can apply to your life. And if you don't mind, take a few moments and leave a review that lets other women know that we're here making a difference in your life and theirs as well. Also, be sure to click on the link for the next Speak course starting May 1st. Until we meet again, God bless.